Yo, Elliott. What's up, guys? Today we got a question from our Strength Camp Online member who goes on to ask Elliott, what do I do when I'm a black sheep amongst all these white sheep? And he says, how is it that all these other sheep want me to be like them, white, and I'm black, I'm different? All right, and they just keep making me want to be like them, but I want to be black. Do I continue to be my black sheep and then become a lion? You know, kind of playing on that "Thus Spoke Zarathustra" video I made once. Or, do I fight against all these white sheeps trying to keep me down? And it had me thinking, because I've often felt like that, and I think we all feel like that at some point, and I think it's pretty human to feel like a black sheep. I don't think there are real black sheeps. I think there are people that act out in a black sheep fashion. I think there are people who are really addicted to the idea that I'm a black sheep. But I think the whole black sheep thing is pretty universal. We all think we're special, right? And we all are special. And everybody else is just a landscape of homogenized milk. Right? They're all the same and mixed, and I'm special. It's a normal feeling. But taken too far and coming from the wrong context can sort of screw you up. What do I mean? Taken too far, it becomes narcissism, meaning that we become attached to the image that we've created for ourselves such that we can create contrast between ourselves and others. In other words, you got to keep trying harder and harder to be more and more different. Right? Because it's all about that image. How can I continue being more different? Because there's tension there. It's almost like when, I've got children that are becoming teenagers, they're becoming adults, and I see what's happening and I understand what's happening. They've got to create contrast between themselves and me and their parents, because for you to stand on your own 2 feet, for you to have your own identity, you have to create separation. You've got to create tension between that which homogenized white milk sheep and me, right? And it's okay, it's normal and natural, but taken too far, you spend your whole life as a teenager. I don't know how old you are, but it's a very adolescent idea, it's a very adolescent behavior. And I gotta be completely honest, a lot of my life, a good part of my early adult life was being caught in the adolescence of, I have to keep being different. I mean, I was different. I looked different from, majority. I was homogenized milk around me, and here I am, not too sure what you are, and in various other aspects. So I kind of was like a little bit of a black sheep. But then I identified with it, and I carried it with me, and when I spoke earlier about context, the context of it continued to grow in the negative frequency of fear and having to prove myself, right? So if you're a black sheep and you've got all these white sheep around you and you've created this contrast, now what you've got to do is you've got to prove yourself that you're good enough. And that having to prove yourself, having to prove that you're good enough, having to constantly show how you're different and how you're better comes from fear. It's a fear-based frequency, it's a fear-based idea, it's a fear-based attitude. And everything that you get will come from your fear. Everything that you don't get will be a byproduct of your fear. And you'll be the scared black sheep feeling all alone amongst all the white sheep who are cool. And they all think they're different too. You see? But you've isolated yourself. No wonder why so many people feel isolated. Stop isolating yourself, man, unless it comes from the other end of the spectrum. Is what you're doing coming from your love? Because if it's coming from love, then there really is no tension. To be a black sheep, which we all are in our own way, but from the pure context of love, means that we really don't have to create any tension. We really don't have to create any contrast between ourselves. You're just being who you are. You're just doing who you are. You're like that bird I spoke about in various videos, where the bird is just singing its song. If you like it, the bird's like, well, that's great. I'm happy that you like me. But I'm just doing my thing, tweeting my song. If you throw a rock at it and the bird's like, fuck, you don't like me. Or you say, I don't like you, bird. You woke me up this morning. What the bird says? I don't give a shit. I'm going to be here singing my song anyway. I don't even know you. I don't notice you. When you're moving from love, you don't even notice the contrast. You're so busy doing the thing that you love that you don't have any time to be talking about how you're a black sheep. So forget the whole black sheep thing. Enroll in developing your love for something. Think about how you're going to contribute to the white sheep, right? Because they're just as black as you and you're just as white as them. We think we're so much different, but we're not. We're special, but we're not different. We're all kind of the same. We're all having these very similar experiences. Rather than proving yourself right, proving them wrong, and trying to get something for nothing. Serve the white sheep. Be careful with that one too, man. People, especially a lot of these like missionaries, they like to serve from this place of piety and I'm better than you. But if you really are in love, if you really are moving with God, not just, trying to shove your religion down people's throats or trying to prove you're right, save people, then you're going to have a nice, comfortable, even frequency, love-filled, wonderful life. Stop the fight. Done.
Elliott said, what?